could recommend anything, it would be to back test. I know everyone preaches on psychology and all this other stuff, and that stuff is huge. You can have all the psychology in the world, but if you're getting in at random times and don't know when to get out, or I mean, if you're just kind of blind trading, you could have the best
Best
whatever.
psychology, but
Yes, exactly, and it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to have a proven setup, and I mean, there's some big traders that always preach that you have to have a plan. You can't just go in blindly trading.
welcome everybody to another funded trader of Tradethepool. Today, a new funded trader with 100K of buying power. Thanks for coming, Mikell.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. Let's start from the beginning. How long have you been with us?
It has been about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, right around that mark.
And you already passed the evaluation of the 100K, right?
I did, yes. Yep.
That's that's incredible. I mean, most guys, it will take them 3 to 5 attempts to pass the evaluation and a little bit longer in time wise, but you did it fairly fast. So tell us all the secrets about it.
Well, the reason why I was able to pass it pretty quickly is because I'm not super beginner. I've been trading for a long time and don't even want to tell you how long because it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not still not fully profitable, but stepped out to trade the pool to see if it would help me with my risk management and things like that. That is the biggest thing I've been struggling with, but it helped me because I already have a good basis of how to trade and I already have setups that I use. I already have systems that I use. So is having the barriers has helped for sure.
Nice. So is that you're talking about the barriers? You're talking about the risk parameters?
Yes, the risk. The biggest thing that helps is the max loss because when I start to spiral, I just don't know how to walk away from my computer, unfortunately. And
Get it.
yeah, that has definitely helped the max loss for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. And this is something that we get from a lot of our traders, just to have a daily pause or a max loss that's stopping you, something that you will never get in a broker because he enjoyed obviously your commission. So he wants you to continue to trade. But
Exactly.
at the end of the day, if you're focusing on consistency, you got to have those stops and the breaks that will tell you, you know what, maybe it's not your day. Come back tomorrow and see what you can do.
Yes. Exactly.
All
Yes.
right. So before I show your dashboard, tell us a little bit about your trading because you say you already have your setups and everything in line.
Do my trading style is mostly hybrid, so I have system and discretionary trading. I try to stay away from discretionary as much as possible because that it's just not as clean. I'm not as good with discretionary as I am with my systems. But it's a hybrid of longs and shorts. Mostly my system setups are from my shorts, and then my longs are mostly discretionary.
Got it. And is it reversal, pullbacks? What type of strategy?
So for shorting, there's the midday pops. I like to short those, obviously small caps. I don't like trading really anything over $20. I do occasionally if it's high momentum, but I try to stick to just $10, like stocks below $10. But shorting those, shorting the morning spikes. So usually in the morning, there'll be a quick spike. You can short near high day or near pre-market high, and usually you're safe. Obviously, sometimes when we're in a crazy hot market, it can blow right through there and you can get yourself caught up, which of course I have before many a times. But those are my two favorite if I had to say is the afternoon, just the afternoon pops and then the fades, and then obviously the morning pop and fades are my two most profitable, I would say, for the shorting side.
Amazing. And the risk wise, do you scale into the position, scale out? How do you handle your stops?
No, it's usually one shot, one kill. So I do have a Twitter and I post a lot of my charts on my Twitter, and you'll see a lot of my trades, not always, but most of the time, especially if it's a system setup, it is one shot, one kill, all in one size. I do have a wide risk when I'm shorting. With my longs, it's a tighter risk. I don't let it go as much against me, but with shorts, obviously, I do let them go kind of far sometimes. Just but definitely back tested and make sure if it's not a discretionary, which I don't discretionary short too often. But yeah.
And do you see any differences between, this time of the year when you have the market super volatile comparing to a sideways move or just nice up move or down move? Differences in your strategy or the way you react to the risk management?
The only big thing, like right now, we're kind of this is November 24th. So this past week that of trading, it was relatively slow. There was some big movers that did happen this past week, but the percentage that they were up on the day wasn't very high. So I did have to adapt when it comes to that because a lot of my systems are I will avoid certain tickers if the percentage is too high because then it can become very trappy, especially if it's a biotech company. They can easily squeeze against you. They can be up 300% and go another 300%.
Yeah.
So it's scary. We didn't really get too many of those this past week. So you'd have to, it made me nervous, but I did have to short some that were maybe only up 50% on the day or 40%. And I usually don't touch those, but when you're in a colder market, you do have to adjust, use bigger size, but just know that the fade isn't going to be as strong because it's only up 40% or, what 40 or 50%.
And that's amazing. And I'm sure the guys that listening right now, some of them are fairly new to trading, maybe in the first few months. Try to walk them through what you got in your head, after doing it for a while,
Yeah.
and just give them the tips or the guidelines they need in order to understand when on or how to reach the point that you're at.
Back testing. That is the big I can't tell you how many hours I have dumped into back testing and staring at charts. That is the biggest thing. And that just comes with time, unfortunately. It's not really something that you can pick up tomorrow and say, oh, now I can be profitable. It's
Yeah,
really time in front of the computer, time in front of the screen. But back testing is the biggest thing. And what I do is I use Thinkorswim, the on-demand feature,
yeah,
and there's some guys on YouTube that will run their scanners, their trade idea scanners. You
yeah,
can go back into their YouTube and look at previous days and look at the gappers, plug those into Thinkorswim, and then you can kind of back test and run around and just kind of figure out your own thing. And that's really what I did. And I'm running about 3 to 4 different setups right now. And a lot of it is just from looking at the pattern happening over and over and over again. The market hasn't changed a crazy amount. A lot of the stuff that works now will still work a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever the case is.
yeah.
So as once you understand just a lot of just the patterns themselves, I mean that gives you a huge edge. And yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing right there. If I could recommend anything, it would be to back test. I know everyone preaches on psychology and all this other stuff, and that stuff is huge. You can have all the psychology in the world, but if you're getting in at random times and don't know when to get out, or I mean, if you're just kind of blind trading, you could have the best
Best
whatever.
psychology, but
Yes, exactly, and it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to have a proven setup, and I mean, there's some big traders that always preach that you have to have a plan. You can't just go in blindly trading.
yeah, I totally get it. Agree with you. I'm going to share my screen and show the guys at home the dashboard. So, for those of you not familiar, every trader gets his own dashboard. The dashboard will show you your stats, the risk parameters, and you can really understand your progress and look at your equity curve. You can also check your achievements and payouts and customize your view, switch between light mode and dark mode. So you traded 100K, the flex, meaning you have unlimited time to pass the evaluation. This is huge. For those of you who've been with us from the get-go, we started with 30 days to pass the evaluation, and now you have unlimited time. You can take as much time as you want. 100K, is it enough 100K to trade with?
Yeah. So if you look, I do also have a 25K account. That's what I first started with. Just to be honest with you, because I just wanted to see how legit. I didn't know anything about you guys, and so I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money right off the rip. And so I was like, let me just dab in here, see how the setup is, how the accounts, how their executions are, things like that. And so I
Yeah.
started with the 25K account. I traded a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I feel confident that I can do well with them, and that's when I went ahead and bought the 100K account. And For me, it's plenty. I don't think a 200K account gives you a little bit more cushion, and I think that's solid too. But the 100K, I think would be good for anybody just kind of starting out. It gives you a little bit more space. You can go with the lower ones if you feel more comfortable, but I like the 100K. I think it's pretty solid.
Nice. And I always say, like you did, start with the 25, start even with the five, just to
Yeah.
show yourself that you can make it, prove it, and also see how you handle the progress and the risk control and everything around it, and then go for the bigger one, as exactly as you did. So the target is 6%. That's all that you need to do. Max loss 4K, daily pause 2000. Nice, very nice balance curve. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about just a few days that you traded, like you said, 4 days until you pass the evaluation, which is incredible, or 7 days, yeah. And 69% on the success rate, 1.2 on the risk reward. BYND, that was a big mover, right?
Yes. Yes. And funny thing is honestly, I don't remember what the catalyst was. I don't remember what setup it was. I just remember it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day for everyone. I mean, I shorted it as well. It
Nice.
was a crazy one, yeah. All right, a lot of stats that you can learn from: the number of trades, the profit factor, of course, the win rate, as we said, the duration of the trade. Let's talk a little bit about that. Is it something that you focus on as well when you back testing, the duration, the time that you stay in a position?
That's huge. So a lot of my back testing has told me that if you hold till end of day, that is the most profitable over all the trading I've done. Obviously, there's some days where they'll spike back end of day, and
Yeah.
obviously you lose profit. But for the majority of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, if you hold till end of day, and by end of day, I usually mean after hours.
Uh,
I can't obviously I have the day trading. I don't have the swing account, so I can't hold after hours, and
yep.
that's okay. But usually if you hold till after hours, that is the most profitable. So yeah. So I think holding is definitely for shorting, for the shorts, not for
Yeah.
longing, but definitely for shorts.
Okay, that's a good tip here. And as you mentioned, you're doing long and shorts, but mostly small caps, right? A lot of those 9, 5, $1, even lower than that. So,
Yes. Yep.
so going back, let's say for the BYND, you had two trades, one for the long side, the other one for the short, and it's the same time, and this is also key, the same day. So on that regard, since you trade in long and short, you give yourself more flexibility and more opportunities in the market. Uh,
Definitely.
and this is definitely a tip for you guys when you're starting. I do see a lot of traders doing only short side or only long side, but at the end of the day, when you have both sides, you can play with it and have more opportunities, as I said, whenever the market is shifting.
And BYND was a discretionary trade, long and short. That day, neither one of those were system setups. I just knew there was a lot of hype behind BYND.
Yeah,
And so I knew we would get a morning spike. And so it actually went further. I think it went to $8 that day. I sold at 650, but I think it
yeah,
went all the way up to $8 or something right around there. But I knew we were going to have that big spike. We're going to squeeze shorts right off the gates. And then I knew there was going to be a backside and a heavy backside. So I knew it was just about timing the short right, but yeah, thankfully I was able to time it right and capture that.
that's amazing. And we see here your certificate. So two funded accounts. You already took almost 6K. How does it feel? You're
Oh,
trading.
man.
You get into that point when you're actually making money.
Yes. So yeah, it's definitely pretty sweet. So on this is it as long as November, nothing happens in the next few days to nothing crazy happens where I blow up or
Yeah,
something. As long as it stays steady, this is actually my second profitable month ever with trading, and I've been trading for a couple
incredible.
years. So it's definitely pretty nice to have that. And I was skeptical just because I don't know much about you guys. So I was skeptical,
Yeah.
like, oh, are they really gonna, pay me out? Is this really gonna happen? And I was letting people on my Twitter, I was keeping them informed and letting them know, like, hey, I'll let you guys know if they're legit, yada yada. And as soon as you guys paid me, and you paid me fast. So if anyone's out there is worried about not getting paid, they will pay you, and they will pay you fast. I got the money within 24 hours. So with my bank, it might be different with your bank, but with my bank, it was within 24 hours. And I mean, that was incredible. Yes, it felt really good. It felt really good getting that.
100%. And you already, the funded account, it's basically, for those of you not familiar with it, every time you make 10% profit, we're actually scaling up your account, your
Yes.
buying power, and your daily loss allowance. So you're currently at number 2. So you scale the account, made the 10%, and now you basically trading. You already have the profit that you made from the previous one, and the bumping up, as we said. So 105 you're trading with currently. Yeah, you're doing great. And of course, there are many traders that on the funded stage will share some tips on our
Yeah.
Discord, also on the interviews about building a cushion. Is that something that
Yes.
you focus on right now?
So I will definitely start doing that. What I'm probably gonna do is do a couple more payouts just to kind of build up that cushion just in my bank account and do that first because I've took some brutal losses
Hmm.
in my other account. I traded with a different broker and lost quite a bit. So I'm having to obviously get that money back. So I'm trying to make sure that's kind of taken care of, take things slow, and then I'm gonna start leaving money in my trade the pool account, leave it in there, and just kind of let it build over time, giving me a bigger cushion, and then slowly just scale out or do payouts a little bit smaller over time.
This is definitely key for the guys that have been trading with us for a while. They will always say, leave a buffer in the account so
Yes,
you can, when you have a bad day, when you have a bad week, you have something to protect you with it, basically.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
that is
Nice.
exactly right.
All righty, Mikell. That was amazing. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing everything
of course.
that you just did. And hopefully, we'll do another interview on the next payout as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to talk. And, if anyone, I'm Oso Toro on Twitter. So if anyone has any questions, concerns, anything like that, you can definitely reach me out there. I try to reply pretty quickly and help any other traders out there. Again, I wouldn't even say I'm a profitable trader yet. I'm still on that journey, but it's on the way. I think we're coming to
For
where
sure.
I'm turning that corner. So I just got to get risk management under control. That is my biggest thing. I've blown. I don't even want to tell you guys how many accounts I've blown. So it's pretty embarrassing, but I think this is a good stepping stone, and will definitely build that discipline to take me further and further in my trading career for sure. So if you guys are on the fence about trying them out, I definitely would give them a shot for sure.
Amazing. Thanks so much for the feedback
Yeah,
and best of luck with that. See you
thank
in
you.
the next video. Take care,
Uh,
guys.
all right, take care.